there's someone who's hiding a very strong desire, a passion for you. And they've been hung up on you for a while, but they haven't revealed it. They've kept it hidden, buried. And I think that they feel that with you, they've lost their head. Or they lose their head. They lose their mind. I think I'm getting the other fish in the sea thing here from these piranha. But these fish just ended up feeding off of this person who honestly lost their head over you. They got caught up in all of their feelings and their emotions, and they tried to avoid them. They tried to avoid this desire. But it was very hard to ignore, as you can see by the image. I'm sitting them now. They're sitting here in this reverie with everything they could possibly want all around them and no one to share it with. It's like sad violin music playing here. All of their wishes should be fulfilled right now, and there's something missing, and that missing piece is this Queen of Wands energy. So this is you. They think very highly of you. They think you're very beautiful, very put together, that you're literally a vision, that you are energy itself, pure energy, that you are a force of nature. You are a fire element. And how can they say they really have what they wish for if they don't have you? They can't. Now, for some, they couldn't have you because there was a commitment somewhere else, a contractual one, either with the higher power or a vow that they made. It can be marriage, but it doesn't have to be. People make vows to themselves. I'm never going to marry. I'm never going to have kids. I vow to never have the kind of commitment that would break like my parents had, those kind of things. But they can't deny that it's left this void inside of them that they've really wanted to fill somehow. They judge themselves pretty harshly for breaking the vows that they've made in the past, because I think that's something that happened, whether that was a vow to themselves or a vow to you, a vow to someone else. They've been at this crossroads with you now for a while, hoping that your paths would intersect. They find it very difficult to take the initiative of that Ace of Wands and actually move from the Two of Wands into the Three and then the Four of Wands. They find this very difficult. And so there's stagnation here, which is why we started with the Hanged Man energy. So why is this coming out? What do we need to know about this? They know that they have really disappointed you because they've really disappointed themselves. They had this vision of their future. They had hopes. And it feels like they just poured out all of their hopes and dreams. It looks like something they did intentionally. Seeing them on this cliff is making me feel like they left you with a cliffhanger. Like you didn't know if they were going to do something or not. You placed all of your hopes on that and it didn't happen. It was devastating to you both. Now the only option is to just rush in and face these fears of commitment, because that swan beast for me in this very cool deck represents commitment. So they have to face this. They have to be honest with you, honest with themselves. They need to tell you. The Temperance card is coming out with a Strength card. So this imbalance is needing to be controlled. They need to control this beast inside of them, basically. Their emotions being all, that's literally what had them losing their mind right? Just all these feelings that they can't voice. They need to be brave. They need to put themselves into a state of peace and calm, nervous system regulation, so that they can just say what's on their mind. Because it's so important with the Knight of Swords that they be honest. There it is again. But they freeze up. So they want to be brave, right? They want to be brave, but their emotions and the Temperance in reverse here, the unhealed energy, makes them freeze up. They go into this trauma response. But the Nine of Swords is about something that's almost over. A nightmare that's almost over. So they know that if they face it, this can finally be over. And there's the Four of Wands. Look at that. Oh my God. Okay. The Four of Wands came out and it was hiding this Three of Swords here. So I think another broken commitment from their childhood, or, maybe they had another marriage or a long-term connection that was broken, something. I think that still haunts them. It still haunts them. And they haven't wanted to subject you to that trauma. They wanted to do something about that. And that's kind of why they just explored other fish in the sea, people who they were just wanting casual connections with, because they didn't want to try to get serious with someone without kind of figuring out this piece. And here we have, this is very encouraging. Here's the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is, look at, this is the beast, right, that we saw in the other images. And here we have the page ready to face off with this Ace of Swords, with the Truth. So this for me is pretty good, because the Ace of Swords, or the Page of Swords, doesn't really know exactly what to say, but they say it anyway. And you can see how very detailed and interesting this whole saga is, right? Because when you put it together, you've got the Page of Swords here going into this Knight of Swords energy. So you can see the progression. This is a different part of the story, but very cool. This deck is Prisma Visions. It's a very cool deck. So yeah, I mean, it does look like they're gonna work up the courage to say something. Okay. Oh, wow, good. So I was just gonna say, you got to work on, or there is something ending here, and then I see the Death card. So this separation, poor, woe is me, begging for crumbs type energy, seen the last of it those days, because now we have the Empress energy. This is somebody who knows what they're worth, knows what they deserve, and they receive it because justice. And when you do receive it, remember, this isn't just going to be easy street for you, because you're about to have everything you've ever wished for, and that's pretty freaking overwhelming. So the Tower card is coming in. It's going to be quite shocking to you, because when someone finally does put down the burden and communicate with this Ten of Wands, there's a whole lot of, stories to unpack there, mixed up in those trees. But the work is being done, and there's that Ten of Swords that we needed to complete that story. The work is being done. I do see a very lovely, happy, fun reunion with this heart-centered, awkward, sweet, awkward energy, and a very solid material gesture planting a seed in the future. So don't despair over this time where you're not hearing from this person or communicating. Let it, do the work to grieve the abandonment wounds that are being triggered, causing you to go into this defensive or avoidant energy, and kind of churn up insecurities between the both of you. Enjoy this single and fabulous time, because before you know it, you'll be trapped in a new prison of your thinking, but it will be reciprocal. Keep your eye out for more information about that 2-day class that's going around here somewhere on my profile.